ready to take on Godzilla. Michael Jackson tonight is Thriller. You would think it's Halloween. Who that let them monsters out? Who that team that song fire? No fire department can't put us out. Stop, I shine, I doubt that. Best believe we bout that. This right here's a rivalry. We ready for combat. All I want no whole bars. This what we came for. Total pandemonium. Listen to that crowd roar. This right here's a rivalry. There's some animosity. No love lost between these teams. Expect no generosity. They don't like us. We don't like them. Been that way since back when. Battle after battle, and I don't see it changing. It's a rivalry. They don't like us.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the TCAA. I am your Commish Bromy. Oh shit! Another freaking home run in the Dodger game. Might as well turn that game off. Anywho, welcome to Week 7 of the TCAA. I am your Commish. It is Rivalry Week. If you didn't realize, that's our pump-up song. I discovered that song, I think, a year or two ago doing this. That is a guy named by the name of T. Powell. He's also in our bowl game mix-up that I made. Because he does another song called Under Armour Boys. So, check him out. Unofficial sponsor there for Rivalry Week right there. So, T-Pow, check him out. YouTube. I don't know where else, but that's where I get his music from. Anywho, so not that big crazy of a week in Week 6. We didn't really have that many crazy upsets like we've had in the last few weeks. But we will go over everything. We'll talk about the rankings, what Week 7 has to bring, and also going to talk about recruiting going on as well. So let's go ahead and let's talk about what is going on from last week. Let's recap from all our ranked schools. Our game of the week last week was then number what the hell numbers were they? So we had number 6 SCLSU going on the road facing then number 3 Allen Wrench Trade School, and Allen Wrench went to town on SCLSU, beat them 173 to 118. So for the Mud Dogs, he had Lamar Jackson. Didn't really do all that well on that Monday nighter. Austin Eckler with 7 points there. Jonathan Taylor came out with 28 strong. Marquise Brown with that 4.5. Brandon Cooks 13. Mark Andrews 15. For Allen Wrench, 31 from Josh Allen. 15 out of DeAndre Swift. 10 from Devontae Adams. 30 from Cooper Kupp, who is just constantly throwing up numbers week after week after week. Adam Thielen with his 24. So once again, that was 173 to 118. Allen Wrench defeating SCLSU. I'll look at the standings here in a little bit as well. We'll go over that real quick since now we've had 2 games so far in conference play to kind of see what that looks like, because it's a little off possibly depending on how some of these schools have done in conference play compared to how they've done so far in the league overall on non-conference matchups there. But winner, Allen Wrench, they stay undefeated, 6-0. Mud Dogs suffering that first loss and then also suffering a loss in conference play. So we'll talk about what happened to them in the rankings. And once again, we'll do some conference talk as well. Figure we might as well throw some of that in there. So let me find you the next game that involves some ranked schools from last week. Ranking down, dropping. Keep it going. All right. So we had number 8, Dukem University was on the road. They were facing number 7, South Texas Raiders. And in this one, Dukem just came out, firing away as well. In this one, 176 to 123 for South Texas. That gives Dukem their 5th win of the season, drops South Texas down to 4-2. For Dukem, you had 27 from Kyler Murray, 23 from Darrell Henderson, 18 from DeAndre Hopkins, 31 from CeeDee Lamb, 12 out of Travis Kelce there. For South Texas, Dukem also had Trayvon Diggs, who just apparently only knows one thing: pick 6. That's all he does. Or interceptions, just in general. The dude's unbelievable. Why are they throwing his direction? I don't know. I mean, if there's Revis Island, and that stopped people from going over that way. And at one point, Richard Sherman was just as ridiculous. Why are they still throwing at Trayvon Diggs? Don't know. Anywho, for South Texas, you had 22 from Patrick Mahomes, 19 from Aaron Jones, 15 from Mark Andrews, 7.5 from Austin Eckler, Mike Evans, 3.7. Disappointing there for the Buccaneer, Mike Evans on that one. So South Texas once again loses. They have 123. Dukem with 176. We'll talk about what happened with them in conference play as well. when we get back into conference discussion. All right, next matchup in your rankings from last week. All right, so we had the number one school, Ball So Hard University, trying to stay undefeated at home, taking on, remember, the Titans University, who was the winner of the conference last year in the Big East. And Ball So Hard didn't have much of a problem here, defeating them 157-93, staying undefeated. And I'll go ahead and spoil it. There is no spoilers on this one. He is still staying at number one after that win. So remember the Titans, 11 points out of Justin Herbert. Just a disappointing matchup or game there. You know what? Baltimore faced them last time. I messed that all up. Lamar Jackson just did pitiful somehow in that crazy scoring game. Remember the Titans because I remember I had Lamar in one of my leagues. Anywho, so Justin Herbert, 11 points. You had DeAndre Swift at 15. Chase Claypool with a disappointing 0.7. Stephon Diggs, 19.4. Michael Pittman with a 4.8. Dawson Knox, only 6 points out of that Monday night game from Buffalo. For Ball So Hard, 24 from Aaron Rodgers, 15 from Zeke Elliott, 19 from Aaron Jones, 30 from Cooper Kupp on that matchup there. He also had Diggs in his lineup, giving him 13 points from the cornerback slot. So just a woodshed beating right there, pretty much 157-93. Keeps Ball So Hard at number one and undefeated, and drops, remember, the Titans down to 2-4. Next matchup here from last week with some rankings. We had number 2 University of Kentucky and Bourbon Ballers at home taking on Upper Sandusky University. And in this one, it became the Derrick Henry show for the Ballers because they were losing going into Monday night. But Derrick Henry said, nah, not today. There's no upsets this week. And so with that, Kentucky wins 156-141 at home, boosting their record up to 5-1, dropping Upper Sandusky down to 2-4. For Upper, he had 31 coming from Josh Allen, 17 from James Robinson, 28 from Jonathan Taylor, 10 from Devontae, 10 from Robert Woods. For Bourbon Ballers, 21 from Brady, 33 from Derrick Henry, 30 from Cooper Kupp. Travis Kelce dropped him down with some 12 points there. Henry just went nuts as we were all watching and just seeing that game go. It was just crazy. And just feeding the ball to Henry. And I'm guaranteeing that is why I know that with Josh Allen, he was like 13 for 13 on 4th and 1 or whatever it is. And that's why they did it that close to the goal line instead of going for the tie, going for the win. But for overtime. But honestly, my opinion is they didn't want to go to overtime because they probably feared losing the coin toss and Derrick Henry just demolishing them. And so that's what I think it was. I don't think it was because he was 13 for 13 on 4th and whatever. I'm pretty sure it was because Derrick Henry, and they just did not want Tennessee to get the ball back. They figured, let's go ahead and go for the win. And I think that is why. That's my personal belief. That's why I think that they went for it on 4th down like that at the goal line. They didn't want to see Derrick Henry again. They didn't want to go to overtime. That's my opinion. I don't think I've also either heard that opinion anywhere else either from what I've listened to. That's all I'm saying. All right. Anywho, so Kentucky winning 156-141, 5-1 for them. Upper Sandusky, like I said, dropping down to 2-4. All right. Next matchup that we had for the rankings here, we had number 10 Crenshaw University Cougars going on the road. They were facing Gondor University, and in this matchup, Crenshaw did lose. One of the few teams that were ranked that did lose. You had for Crenshaw 11 points from Herbert, 17 from Damian Harris, 10 from Justin Jefferson, 31 from CeeDee Lamb, 7.8 out of DK Metcalf, and 8 points out of Darren Waller. He did not have any points coming from, and this probably could have been a difference maker here. He had no defensive end and no cornerback. Both were on buys, I want to say, so I'm not too sure what the depth looks like there for Crenshaw. But there's probably something that we could have done. I'm sure if I look here, it'll probably tell me, he could have won if he played some key players. But I'm assuming his bench wasn't there. I'm not too sure why you don't have backup players if your bench is without one of those, since we've been having walk-ons. There's been 2 already, I want to say. There's a 3rd one coming. So really it's not it shouldn't be a problem here. And quite frankly, as the commission, starting to wonder about no longer allowing, walk-ons if you have a depth problems. we'll bring it up probably during discussion, bringing it out now. It'll probably be like an off-season discussion here. But if you can't fill the full lineup because either you don't have a kicker when you started the season, you don't have a cornerback you started the season, or, if injuries do one thing, it's whatever. But if you only have like one or two people in those positions and something goes on and you decide you don't want to pick up that position, I don't think I'm going to start. I'm going to put it to the committee or to the league, and we'll discuss that because I want people to be able to fill the lineup. I don't want people to not fill the lineup and they're going to go after whoever the next offensive player is instead. And hey, I'd rather have that instead of putting up the 3 points than say a defensive tackle. But the other team is. So the other schools are doing that. So it's going to be something I'm going to look into this year, this off season, because that's the purpose of the walk-on. The purpose of the walk-on is not to have this situation here that I'm looking at right now. So just letting y'all know, it might be coming. Anywho, so Crenshaw 113 for Gondar University with their 126. He had 10 points from Lamar Jackson, 21 from Najee Harris, 12 from A.J. Brown, 19 from Stephon Diggs, and 15 coming out of Mark Andrews. So let's see what else we got in the rankings. May have got here's one here. We had last week number 6, not number 6. They were number 9, Samurai Jackson University. They were on the road going to hell facing the Greenville Green Devils. Like we talked about last week's episode when we were watching. Within like the first minute or two, we found out that Samurai actually won their game after a point change happened for Zeke Elliott. Rankings didn't adjust because of that. We had, it was day of the game pretty much. So now, I'm sure this week it probably is proper, but was ranked number 9 last week on the road against Greenville, and they were victorious, just edging out Greenville 128 to 125. For Samurai, he had Patrick Mahomes with 22, Zeke with 15, Devontae with 10, Stephon Diggs with 19, Justin Jefferson 10, TJ Hawkinson 10. For Greenville, 24 from Aaron Rodgers, 20 from Dalvin Cook, 18 from Tyreek Hill, 15 from Mike Gesicki there, and 10 there from Kenny Moore, his cornerback. This puts Samurai now up to 5-1, drops Greenville down to 2-4. And then for Samurai also, that's a 5-game winning streak. They lost their first game of the season and have now gone on 5 straight, pretty much doing what Samurai does. So that's the SJU motto pretty much. We get our loss out of the way and then they just start winning and going nuts. Speaking of going nuts, let's talk about this next school, number 4, at home, Delta Phi Gamma taking on Philly U. They are the magical school this year. Maybe the other president knew what the hell he was doing by sucking and just grabbing a bunch of rookies, because Delta Phi, number 4, and not taking anything away from the current president of the school, because you have to actually still start the players. He wasn't. But Delta Phi Gamma, winner, victorious, staying undefeated. Number 4 there. They had Kyler Murray with 27, Darrell Henderson 23, DeAndre Swift 15, Jamar Chase with 11, Cortland Sutton 18. Over on the Philly U side, 15 from Trevor Lawrence, 7 from Austin Eckler, 30 out of Cooper Kupp, 8 from DJ Moore, 4 from Michael Pittman, and 18 from Noah Fant. But once again, Delta Phi Gamma just continuing this amazing streak. For anybody who wasn't in this league last year, the last couple of years, doesn't understand the roster he took over. But he's making a difference, and it's just fantastic to see, because once again, this is let's see, their 6th win. Honestly, I think the entire history of the other owner may have had less wins combined in his 4 years in the league. I'm going to go look that up here in a second, I think. Well, we'll do that later. Maybe I'll save it for next episode, or I'll save it for a stat of the day kind of a thing, and I'll post it in band later on. But just saying, you guys don't understand just how remarkable it is seeing the turnaround that Delta Phi have in 6 games into the season comparative to how that roster was doing and who the previous owner had been doing with that. Just letting you all know, it's still amazing. All right, so next matchup, you have it was number 5 Vestal Tech Community College at home taking on the Volunteers, and in this one Vestal Tech was victorious, edging out the Volunteers 118 to 112. Maybe there was a play that just missed getting it on fourth down. Maybe by like that much. Definitely, maybe this. It's hard to tell sometimes, But I think they got it right. I'm sorry, Balls. Vestal Tech victorious, 118-112, pushing them up to 4-2 after that stunning defeat from the week prior. That we found out, just a week ago. Volunteers dropping out of 2-4. For the Vols, they had 15 from Trevor Lawrence, 19 from Aaron Jones, 22 from Joe Mixon, 20 from Zach Ertz, who played that game Thursday night, and then get straight to Arizona. 3 points only from Terry McLaurin, and then 7 points from DK Metcalf. For Vestal, they had 22 from Mahomes, 20 from Dalvin Cook, 15 from his kicker, Matt Prater. Lucked out in some cases here because he only had 0.7 from his wide receivers combined. The three of them got him 7.4 points altogether. So he was able to squeak that one out just barely, especially when you have three of your offensive players only scoring 7 points combined. That's troublesome, but he was able to get out of that jam there and get that victory. Like I said, won by maybe that much. Just saying. Anywho, so victorious there for Vestal Tech there. All right, let me see if I can find any more. Nope. That was the final one in the chat in the winning there. So let's see what we've got here. Let me go here. A little private chat. He's baiting guys like yes, Diggs is crazy. I don't get why they're throwing to him. It just doesn't make any sense at all. Honestly, just throwing that out there. It makes zero sense why they're even attempting to throw to him. But all right, so that's the recap from last week. Let's talk about the rankings. Let me go to my other screen here, and I can pull it up a different way just so I can see what it looks like. All right, so like I said, there wasn't really any crazy upsets. A few changes after the realization of who really won the week prior with Samurai and Vestal. So that does change up a few things, obviously. But overall, still, again, number one, unanimous voted through the Coaches Bowl, Ball So Hard University. Number two, staying put, is Kentucky Bourbon Ballers. Staying put at 3 is Allen Wrench. Staying put at 4 is Delta Fu. Now, moving up 4 spots is Samurai Jackson. The thought process might be he could have been 5 week prior without the point different, if we didn't know about the point thing beforehand. But 5 is Samurai Jackson. Duke MU moving up to 6. SCLSU dropped down only 1 spot to 7 after that loss last week. Entering back into the top 10, you have Copper Mountain Community College going to 8. And also entering back in Louisiana University Knights, they're now at 9. And then rounding out that top 10, you have Vestal Tech Community College. Dropping out of the top 10, you had South Texas Raiders. They're at the bubble. They're at 11. And then also dropping out was Crenshaw University, dropping down to 14th. Rounding it all out here for you, you got Telford at 12, Thugs 13, Presbyterian 15, Adams 16, Upper Sandusky 17, Chicago at 18, Philly at 19, Delta Tau Chi at 20, Jefferson Community College. Why is this not scrolling? Scroll, please. 21, Jefferson Community, 22, Terry Tate, DBAP 23, Gondor at 24, Dynasty at 25, Grimes State at 26. Remember the Titans 27, Land Thieves 28, dropping down. Land Thieves are on, I believe, a 4-game losing streak after starting the season 2-0, by the way. That's not normal for Land Thieves. 29, Fakie, 30 is Greenville, Proc State 31, Volunteers at 32, Harrison at 33, Northern University is at 34, Dallas Spurs getting their first win of the season last year, moving up out of the basement, moved up to number 35, and then Quack Attack on, I believe, their 5-game losing streak or 4-game losing streak after having that huge upset in week 1 or 2, whichever one they got that first, their only win on. I can't remember if it was week 1 or week 2, but they've lost every other game, and they're now sitting at the bottom at number 36. All right, real quick, let's talk. Let me bring up the rankings. Make sure there's no other thing. Wait, you telling me you only just found out about how you won last week? Are you shitting me right now, dude? You're not listening to my show? And you calling yourself an idiot? I'm sitting here, and this might be a private chat, but this shit just going over the waves right now. It's going over. How dare you? It's all right. It's cool, man. I get it. You're probably drunk anyway. Let's see what's going on in this Braves game here. It still looks like 6-2. I have no idea what's going on in the football game. I got playoffs right now going on. So last I saw, Browns were winning 10-0 figures on my 10-year anniversary last week. Hey, congratulations! I know how that is. Just had my anniversary too. So congratulations there, Samurai, for your 10-year anniversary. So I get it. I understand. You still should have known. What the hell? Thank you, sir. All right, let's go back to whatever the hell I was going to talk about real quick. Oh yeah, the standings. Let's talk about conference play real quick. After having 2 games so far in conference play, let's see what they looks like for everybody. A couple things are going to be obvious. Obviously, we still have defeated schools. There's no more schools that are winless. So, we're out of that thing. Now, when does somebody else lose in this? So, ACC, let's take a look at them. Right now, leading in conference play, you have Louisiana University Knights. They're 2-0 in conference play. 1-1, you have Adams College, Brock State, Terry Tate, and the University of Dallas Spurs. Sitting at 0-2 is Northern University. I'm not saying that they can't still make a difference at 0-2, but it's going to be difficult because you got to then win your next 3, and you got to hope that everybody else up there is someone that who you're going to be beating on to cause some losses there, and that they all beat up on each other. But right now, Louisiana University sitting on top, 2-0 in the ACC. All right, Big Six. Let's see here. Who do we have? At the top, you have Duquesne University at number 6. They're 2-0. And then you have the Dynasty, also 2-0. They're only 2-4, which means that their only wins so far have come inside the conference. So, that's good for them, right? It's, they may not end up getting a rank, but right now, if things were to change, if things were to end right now, they're in their conference title game. So, that's all that matters, right? You want to get into your conference title game, have an opportunity to possibly get into the playoffs. I'm going to say if you're an under 500 school, that's going to be very, very difficult to be doing. But they obviously haven't played Duke and U yet either. So, one of them won't be undefeated in conference play, obviously, because they haven't faced each other. But right now, Duke and U at 2-0, Dynasty at 2-0 in conference, 1-1 South Texas and Telford, and at the bottom at 0-2 is Jefferson Community College and DBAP University, sitting at 0-2 in conference play, and then also 2-4 in overall play. Next conference to talk about, we got the Big East Conference. No shocker, Balsahard University, 6-0, 2-0 in the conference. 2-0 also in conference is Fakie with their 3-3 overall record. Sitting at 1-1, you have the Thugs and you have Chicago. And then sitting at the bottom of 0-2 is, remember, the Titans and Harrison University. Now, like I said, we're 1-1 right now. Chicago outfit, their only win has come in conference play. Sitting at 1-1. So they're 1-5 overall, but technically they actually have a good shot at getting into conference title game. But let's kind of see what happens there. All right, next conference, let's get down to the Mountain 6. All right, now this one here, they're all tied up. Every school in Mountain 6 is 1-1. No one's pulled ahead yet at 2-0. So tiebreaker right now would be your overall record. So sitting at the top is number 2, Kentucky Bourbon Ballers, with their 5-1 record. Crenshaw University sitting up right next to them, it's 4-2. And then after that, you have 2-4, Delta Tachi, Upper Sandusky, Grimes State, and Gondar University. All right, so new conference, beating up on each other. Pretty nice. All right, Pac-6 conference. 2-0s. You have, like I said, the undefeated number 4, Delta Phi Gamma at 6-0. And then right behind them is Samurai Jackson University. Yep, they lost their first game of the season. They're on a 5-game winning streak. So Samurai doing what they do. They're 5-1 overall with 2-0 in the conference play. 1-1, you have Copper Mountain at 4-2, and you have Greenville 2-4. And then for Philly U and for Land Thieves, they're both 0-2 in conference play. And last but not least, the SEC, you have 6-0 undefeated Allen Wrench. They're 2-0 in conference play. You have Vestal Tech 2-0 in conference play with their 4-2 overall. 1-1s are your SCLSU Mud Dogs and Presbyterian Blue Hose, and then 0-2s are your Volunteers and your Quack Attacks. Quack Attack looks like they're 1-5. They're on a 4-game losing streak, so they had that one huge win in week 2, and then have lost since. So they need to turn that sucker around, right? Like I said, you can still make it if you're 0-2. You still got 3 more conference games to go. And there has been schools who were 3-2 make it into conference title games, so there is still that opportunity. So don't think you don't have an opportunity. But let me go ahead and flip over. We're going to start talking about what it looks like this coming week. Now, rivalry week. We're going to go over. I'm not going to go over the ranked schools. I'm just going to go over all the rivalry matchups that are set, that actually have an agreement going on. Those will be the ones who I'll preview here real quick. Reminder to everybody, with this game, if you're the winner, you get to rename the losing school for the remainder of the regular season, whatever you want to name them. It can't be obscene and vulgar and stuff like that. This is all fun and games, but regular season, they'll be known as something else. Why? Because they lost to you. Pretty simple. Something that we do, a little bit of fun, done it from the beginning. And then when we get into the playoffs and conference title games and stuff like that, we'll switch everybody back to their real name. So I want to pull up those matchups here. Let me go to this screen, make sure I got nothing going on. Chat rooms here. Earmuffs. No earmuffs. I'm just trying to make sure. 6-2 still. All right, let me pull up the matchup. All right, come on, slowly moving. All right, well, let's just BS for a little bit here. A little filibuster, all right? So what are you guys doing? What are you doing? You guys hanging out, chilling? Wait, I can speed itself up here. All right, here we go. Matchup time. Go to previews. Hopefully people have. I know there's a lot of big schools or big teams or NFL teams on bye weeks this week that are going to cripple in a couple of schools. But all right, so game of the week is we got number 10 Vestal Tech Community College going on the road facing number 8 Mountain Community College. And this bowl matchup here is, pull up there. I don't know if they actually have an official name or not. Let's find out. They do not have an official name. But I know they've been playing for the last couple of seasons here. So you have 4-2 Vestal Tech going on the road facing 4-2 Copper Mountain Community College. For Vestal Tech, they have Patrick Mahomes, Josh Jacobs, Mike Evans, Calvin Ridley, Debo Samuel, and Dallas Goedert. For Copper Mountain, Lamar Jackson, Chuba Hubbard. I don't know how to pronounce his first name. Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley, and Dallas Goedert. So they both got the same tight ends going. They both got Ridley in there as well. Right now, based off projections, it's Copper ahead by 3 points, 129-126. Overall, when these schools have faced each other, Vestal Tech is 6-1 overall against Copper Mountain. So you can pretty much think of how their rivalry is going there. All right. Let's find the next matchup that involves some rivalry schools. Pull this one up. All right, so you have Presbyterian Blue Hose. They are going on the road facing Adams College Adams in what is being called the Blue Atomic Hose Battle. This would be their very first time matchup here in rivalry week. For Presbyterian, both schools are 3-3. So Presbyterian, he has got Joe Burrow, Darrell Henderson, DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Pittman, Henry Ruggs, and Kyle Pitts, getting that rookie in there. For Adams College, you got Kyler Murray, Dalvin Cook, A.J. Brown, Marquise Brown, DeAndre Hopkins. They both got Hopkins going, and Travis Kelce. As of this moment, Adams is favored 108-99. And in their short little time, just in the history of the league, let's see, Adams College is 0-2 over Presbyterian Blue Hose, but that would be whatever the school originally was named before Adams College took over this past year. So this is actually their very first time facing as rivals per se in a bowl in their matchup. So this will be a nice little set for them. All right. Let's find the next matchup here involving some rivals. Pull it up. Let's see here. All righty. We have double check because I believe they are one as well. And we here DBAP University going on the road facing University of Dallas Spurs. DBAP is 2-4. Dallas Spurs is 1-5. For DBAP, you got Aaron Rodgers, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, Devontae Adams, Antonio Brown, and Kyle Pitts. For the Spurs, You got Justin Fields, Miles Sanders, McCole Hardman, DK Metcalf, Calvin Ridley, and Hayden Hurst there. At this moment, DVAP is favored 126 to 101. And overall, in their 2 years history of playing each other, DVAP-U is 2-0 all the time against the Dallas Spurs in their matchup. The next matchup here is Quack Attack versus Terry Tate's Pain Train. And this one is the Office Linebacker Attack Trophy, which is presented by the Terry's Famous Duck Calls. In this one here, 1-5 Quack Attack, 2-4 Terry Tate at home at Summoner's Rift. For the Quack Attack, you got Matthew Stafford, Leonard Fournette, Damian Harris, Antonio Brown, Cordero Patterson, and TJ Hawkinson. For Terry Tate, you got Aaron Rodgers, Antonio Gibson, Mike Evans, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Lockett, and Mark Andrews. At this moment, Terry Tate is projected and favored 125 to 113. In their 3 years of facing each other, it is Terry Tate with a 2-1 series lead over Quack Attack in their matchups there. Next matchup here, make sure this one is not all these new schools. It's hard to remember. This is a other matchup here. So we got ranked number 9 Louisiana University on the road facing the Titans University at Dazed and Confused Fields. 4-2 Louisiana, 2-4 remember the Titans. Where'd it go? The battle for the Basin Bowl. They have Mahomes, Melvin Gordon, who is playing tonight. Last I saw, wasn't doing all that well because I need him to get like 35 rushing yards in a bet I've got going on. But like I said, I haven't seen anything since halftime. Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase, Robert Woods, and Zach Ertz. For member of the Titans, you got Jameis Winston, Alvin Kamara, DeAndre Swift, Cordero Patterson, Michael Pittman, and Noah Fant. And they are, amazingly enough, pretty much tied. We'll call it tied. It's both 122s. Remember, the Titans is favored by 0.12 points. So it's a toss-up in this one. This is a nice little matchup here between these two schools. Overall, with them, this was, Louisiana wasn't in the league last year. But their histories in general of the school of this, of our league. Remember, the Titans is 2-0 over that franchise that is Louisiana University Knights. All right, next matchup here. Make sure I got no comments going on. Just scored a touchdown not long ago, receiving Melvin Gordon. That it is. Oh, so he's going to get some points, but I need him rushing yards though, so that's not good for me. Anywho, all right, next matchup here we have Telford Tornadoes going on the road to face the undefeated number 1 Ball So Hard University at Thomas Brady Field at Starbucks Stadium. This one is called the Battle of the Bambino, sponsored by Duncan. The winner gets the Golden Bat. Honorary coin tossers is Derek Jeter and David Ortiz. In their matchup here, you have Telford with Tom Brady going home to Thomas Brady Field. Very interesting, right? DeAndre Swift, Cooper Kupp, Cordero Patterson, Calvin Ridley, and Zach Ertz. For Ball So Hard, you got Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, A.J. Brown, Cooper Kupp. So they both got Kupp going. Tyler Lockett and Darren Waller. At this moment, Ball So Hard is favored 127 to 116. And overall, Telford Tornadoes is 4-1 against the number 1 school at this moment, Ball So Hard University. So obviously, I'm sure Tim wants to keep that number 1 spot, that top spot there, and I'm sure he also wants to then put a little beat down to Marty and their little friendly rivalry that they have going on. So good luck there to those two gentlemen. All right, next matchup here. Make sure if this is one or not. Doesn't look like it, so we will keep on scrolling. Scrolling. Oh, wait, go back up. All right, so this matchup here is, I believe, there. I thought it was. Do I see it? Nope, don't see it. So we're going to keep. Nope, there they are. I thought I saw it. All right, so you have number 6 Duke University going on the road to Wrigley Field to face the Chicago Alpha Preparatory Academy. 5-1 Dukem, 1-5 Chicago. This is their rivalry here. They don't have a name for it yet, I don't believe I don't see a name, so they don't have a name yet for their rivalry. For Dukem, you got Kyler Murray, Darrell Henderson, Joe Mixon, DeAndre Hopkins, Deebo Samuel, and Travis Kelce. For Copa, you got Kyle Murray, Michael Carter, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins. They're both going with Hopkins there, and Mike Gesicki and Kyle Pitts. So Chicago going with the 2 tight end set this week. Right now, Dukem is favored 122 to 113. Overall, these schools Chicago is 2-1 favorite or 2-1 overall against Dukem University. And I'm sure that they would like a nice win here to put up a nice little upset to Dukem University. All right, next one matchup. Let's see, are they one? I don't think so. So we will keep scrolling. All right, this one I know is for sure. This is Land Thieves going on the road to face the South Texas Raiders in the Crusaders rivalry for the Golden Hat. For Land Thieves, they are 2-4, hoping to end their 4-game losing streak, facing the 4-2 South Texas Raiders at Young McCoy Stadium. For Land Thieves, you got Matt Ryan, Saquon Barkley, which I'm pretty sure he's ruled out for this week, so he's probably want to get him, switch out that running back. Marquise Brown, Mike Evans, Christian Kirk, and Travis Kelce. On the Raiders side, you got Mahomes, Austin Eckler, who is on a bye week, so you got to get that switched out of there. Aaron Jones, Mike Evans, DJ Moore, and Mike Andrews. At this moment, South Texas is favored 116 to 110. And overall, in their matchups here, South Texas holds a 2-1 series history lead over Land Thieves in their rivalry there. All right, next matchup up here, we have they are there. All right, so you've got number 4, Delta Phi Gamma. They're going on the road to the Sin Bin to face Fakie U2 University. 6-0 Delta, taking that 6-game winning streak. Like I said, just unbelievable season they're having so far. 3-3 for Fakie U. This matchup is called the Fakie U Foo Bowl for the Blanton's Bourbon Barrel Trophy. Man, say that 3 times fast. I'm pretty sure this is a brand new rivalry for these two schools as well. So for Delta Phi, they got Kyle Murray, Darrell Henderson, DeAndre Swift, Jamar Chase, Cortland Sutton, Tyler Higbee. For Phi, you have Stafford, Antonio Gibson, Henderson as well, so they're matching up there. Brandon Cooks, AJ Green, and Dallas Goedert there. For Delta, they are favored 121 to 102. And also in their series matchups history, Phi is 3-0 over the franchising that it was originally, like I said, big USC, Georgia Band or something like that. 3-0 over Delta Phi in this, gimmick that we have here. But I have a feeling, it might be different here. I know Delta Phi is really excited what they're doing here. They are favored 121 to 102. All right. The next matchup is the Battle of the Brother-in-Laws. It is the 2-4 Greenville Green Devils going on the road to Hard Knocks Field to face University of Thugonomics and their 3-3 record. This matchup is called the Hostilities on Hensley for the Sword in the Limestone Trophy. So for Greenville, they got Aaron Rodgers, Miles Sanders, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, Deebo Samuel, and Mike Gesicki. For the Thugs, we got Lamar Jackson, Josh Jacobs, Tyreek Hill. They're battling, knocking each other off there. Calvin Ridley, Robert Woods, and Travis Kelce. At this moment, Thugonomics are favored 129 to 125. And overall, in their history of rivalry, it is Greenville holding a 4-3 all-time series record over the Thugonomics. So obviously, we're looking to tie that up and keep our record, push our record over 500 to get ready for when we get some more conference play going on. So equal things out here for us in Thugonomics right here. So. All right, next matchup. Let's see who else we've got going here. Come on. All right, so the next matchup we have is number 3, Allen Wrench Trade School. They're going on the road to the Chicken Coop to face Grime State University. And in this matchup, they are still playing. Grime State University was a different school. Previous years, they were MC State in the ACC. They decided to take a new spot in the Mountain 6. So they kept their rivalry going. And it is the Frostbite Bowl for the Snowshoes of the North. I believe it's a Minnesota Green Bay kind of gimmick there because I know Allen Wrench is a huge Packers fan, and I want to say that's probably why they're having a rivalry there. I feel like that was the reason. I think maybe that's a Minnesota thing, unless they're both fans of Green Bay. I don't know. I remember that has something to do with Green Bay. That's all I remember. I think. Who knows? Could be lying. Anyway, for Allen Wrench, you got Brady, DeAndre Swift, Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, and Mike Gesicki. For Grime State, Kyler Murray, Antonio Brown, Jamison Crowder, Tyreek Hill, and TJ Hawkinson. At this moment, Allen Wrench is favored 130 to 108. I feel like there's one offensive player missing there for Grime State. He only has 11 going in his lineup right now, so you may want to get one more player in there, and you might be able to get closer there to possibly knocking off the undefeated Allen Wrench Trade School in your guys' and this, since it's a new franchise, it doesn't have their rivalry week. I have to go and how they're looking. I'd have to go into another screen right now, which I don't have that available at this moment. So not too sure how their rivalry is going overall, but Allen Wrench looking to stay undefeated. That's all we know. They're on the road. All right. Next matchup here. Let's see if this one is. I don't believe it is. Nope, don't see it. All right, continuing on. Philly U. I remember seeing that one. All right, so you got Philly U, Northern University, Texas State, in what is being called the battle for the gold-plated testicles. If no one's noticed, if you take the first letters of Northern University, Tech State, it's called nuts. That's what they're doing here. Anywho, so Philly U 3-3 going on the road to face 105 Northern University at Rafi Testalama Field at the Nest. So for Philly, you got Sam Darnold, Austin Eckler. This is going to be an interesting matchup here. Austin Eckler, who is on a bye, Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, Michael Pittman, and Noah Fant, going against Josh Allen, who's on a bye, Nick Chubb, who is injured, Aaron Jones, Chris Godwin, Cortland Sutton, Darren Waller. He's got also Jair Alexander, who I know is out injured. The other Josh Allen is also on a bye, I believe, in Jacksonville. So, lots to change up in this matchup here. Hopefully they do that, and it's not a bunch of bye players facing against bye players. It's going to kind of piss me off. But anywho, so overall, these schools, when they face each other, it's Northern University all-time 2-0 against Philly U, with whatever school Northern University was previously known as in the history of our league. All right, next matchup here is I know this is where's it at on here? So you have Delta Tau Chi, favorite college chapter, on the road facing the Volunteers. Both of these schools are 4. In this matchup, it is the battle for the third Saturday in September. It is obvious, for those who don't know, a University of Florida, University of Tennessee gimmick. They always play the third Saturday in September in real-life college football. So for Delta Tau, you got Aaron Rodgers, Ezekiel Elliott, Josh Jacobs, Jamar Chase, Adam Thielen, and Tyler Higbee. For the Vols, you got Zach Wilson, Aaron Jones, Joe Mixon, A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, and Zach Ertz. His kicker's on a bye, so you want to switch that out. Adam Thielen's on a bye, you want to switch that out. So right now, it's projecting Volunteers to be favored 95-91, so they got 5 players in each of their matchups. So in Delta Tau coming back in the league, so this is their first time in this rivalry here. All right, the next rivalry matchup and the last preview from the looks of it, unless I've missed one, so I'll have to go back and check. You have the I got that one. We'll go back in a second. It's the Battle of the Original Colonies. It is Brock State University going on the road to the Shaolin Dojo to face number 5-1 Samurai Jackson University, hopefully to continue their 5-game winning streak. Brock State 2-4. They've got Sam Darnold, A.J. Dillon, Jonathan Taylor, Brandon Ayuk. Can't remember how to pronounce his last name. Debo Samuel and Mike Gesicki. For Samurai, you got Mahomes, Leonard Fournette, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams, A.J. Brown, and T.J. Hawkinson. At this moment, they are favored 127-101 over Brock State University. And in their history of facing each other, they are tied 2-2 overall in their series of record playing here. So let me make sure I got that one. Yep, looks like we got all the conference matchups that are signed on my page right there. So that is all your plays there. So that's going to wrap it up for us here. Once again, on recruiting, so make sure you get those in. You have until Sunday to get your recruiting set in there. The recruits are going to start verbally committing. So if you don't know, please read those rules. If the offensive player is leading by 250 points over the next school, that considers to be a verbal commitment, and there is $100 going to that recruit over for that school. So if you want to try to keep somebody away from somebody, don't let them get a 250-point lead on them. On the defensive side, it is leading by, I want to say 100 or 50. I can't remember which way it is because it's defense. But there's also then a bonus there as well for them. So once again, on the defensive side, if you want to try to stay in a fight with somebody, you might want to just still get in on that. So you're recruiting, you can still do visits, request it, as long as you had no one playing in tonight's game. If you do and you didn't get in before the game, before it started, I'm not going to accept it because you already have points going, or your opponent already has points going, or something of that nature. That's just not fair in my eyes to do. So you can do any other weeks, as long as your school hasn't played yet at all and your opponent hasn't played at all, you can put it in this week. So you got recruiting going on, rivalry, like I said. Start thinking of names if you're winning. Who are you going to change your names to? We'll do a huge show on changing the school names and stuff like that. I'll probably do my little paper thing as well that I did last year. I was doing to announce all the new schools coming into the league. So other than that, I got nothing else for you guys. Let me cue back up my music here real quick so that way we can get out of here with what it is that we are doing. All right, you guys. Enjoy week 7. Enjoy rivalry week. Catch you all later.